I can buy a new hat for $20.
I would buy 20 junior bacon cheeseburgers.
That's 3 movies without a student ID.
With $20, I could buy food for a week.
I could develop 2 rolls of film.
Six and a half double tall lattes.
I could pay half of last month's cell phone bill.
I bought these sunnies for $20.
I could buy 1 chapter of my school textbook.
I could buy a sweet t-shirt.
I could buy half a tank of gas.
I could buy a new purse.
So here's the deal. I spent the last 2 summers in Mongolia working with schools and families and churches. Most of that time I spent up in the north of the country in a small village of about 1,000 people. In working with the schools, I came to find out that in 2005 the government decided to stop funding its school book program for primary school age children. And so I found out about this problem and I was like, well, what's the big deal? The families can just buy books for their kids and send them to school, right? And well, the answer, it wasn't really quite that easy. You see, the majority of the population in rural Mongolia is unemployed, both parents, and a set of school books is actually something that none of them can even think about affording because they are putting all their efforts into actually just putting food on the table. Come to find out that these missing school books, the ones that the families can't afford to send their children to school, cost about $20 US. And I'm thinking, you're kidding me, right? $20 US to send a kid to school for an entire year? Why isn't anybody doing anything about this? And so I asked around at some of the relief and development organizations that I knew of in Mongolia if they knew anything about this problem, if they knew why no one was stepping up and helping these kids get the books. And they all said, what? The kids aren't getting their school books? You see, no one even knew what was going on. No one even knew that the government had stopped funding school books and that these kids were trying to go to school, that they wanted to go to school, the families wanted to send them to school, but they couldn't simply because they didn't have $20 of books. And so that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about raising a whole bunch of money for some big project. You know, I'm not your huge relief and development organization. I'm just a guy who went to Mongolia the last 2 summers and loves the Mongolian people and realized how easy it is to make a lasting effect on people's lives. And I may just be one person, but I figured if I could get a whole bunch of people to think the same way, then we can really make a difference.